Okay, then. Hello, guys. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Stephen, Asif, Subhashini, Deepak. How are you all? Good evening, guys. Good evening. Am I audible? Am I visible? Can you please quickly confirm that? Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Hi, Kash. How are you, buddy? So, good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. And I welcome you all to day 3 of Angular Masterclass. Yep, and I really hope that you guys are enjoying the session so far. We have learned so many things as of now. Till now, I think now we know what exactly is a component, how to pass data to a component, right? How to use Angular CLI for few commands, how to generate components, right? How to run your project. Then I think we also saw how to perform bindings, different kind of bindings. So guys, you can say that now you are quite familiar with Angular. You know the basic stuff. So from today, the advanced thing starts. Now, when I say advanced, that doesn't mean that it will be too tough. It's all easy. But now we'll be diverging towards some project-based approach. Okay. So today is one of the most important sessions of the whole course. Right. Today is one of the most important sessions of the whole course because today we are learning something called as routing, which is something which will be always there in almost all your projects that you make in future. That's why this concept becomes so important. And we'll be talking about everything related to routing, literally everything. Okay, so don't worry, just be there throughout the whole session and we'll complete routing completely. Okay, hi Swami, hi Tech Babies, hi Stephen, hi Mohammed Sadiq. I hope you guys are good, everyone. So you can see I have created a new fresh project so that there is no confusion. Okay, so it's a complete new fresh project. I have done nothing. All is exactly same. Just created a new project with the same command ng new and the project name. And you can see everything is completely fine. I have changed nothing. Every file is there just as it is. So I'll be changing everything in front of you. The only reason I created a new project is in the previous project, we had a lot of code now, right? And as you guys are beginners, if I start coding in that, sometimes it might become confusing. That's why I created a fresh project for this particular tutorial, this particular video. I'm following your videos. I'm still in API. Thank you so much, Tech Babies. Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you so much. Okay, so guys, let's go. And today we are starting with something called as routing. But before that, guys, I really hope that you guys are understanding everything that we are learning so far. Okay, guys, I'm really hoping that you guys are understanding everything that you're learning. Okay, and we have a lot to come. And also, guys, if you're new, please don't forget to subscribe. Let's try to complete 3.9K by today. Let's see if we can get 10 more subscribers in today's session. Guys, if you're new, please don't forget to subscribe and also call your friends to join in. Hi Ananta, good evening, buddy. Okay, so guys, everyone ready to go? Let's go. So today what we are talking about is a very important concept in almost any front-end framework. No matter what you learn, React, Vue, Angular, no matter what you learn, it is one of the most important concepts, which is called as routing. Okay, so today we are learning something called as routing. So before going into the code, let's actually try to understand what exactly is routing. Okay, what exactly is routing? So first of all, if I just give you a very basic idea of routing, think of it like this. Based on a path or based on a URL, when you open something, that simply is the term which refers to routing. So whenever you open anything, for example, just to give you a very simple example, when I go to www.google.com, right? So this is a URL. When I enter this URL in the browser, it gives me this page or it takes me to this particular page. So you can say that this is a path and it is taking me to this page. So whenever a path or a URL, in web addresses we don't call it path, we call it URL. So whenever a path or a URL takes you to some place or opens something for you or downloads a page or opens a folder, no matter what happens, that concept is what you call as routing. For example, say in this case, if I search here Dale Steyn, something like this, now you can see there is a new path, right? This is a new path and this particular URL takes me to this exact page. And see, if I take this path anywhere now in any tab, and if I paste this path here and I ask Google, see the same page. So if there is any path that takes you to a certain place, that is what you call as routing. Simple. Same in the case of folders. See, if I just open my folder here right? If I click on desktop, see, this is the path. If I click on this Angular frontend masterclass folder, it takes me to this particular area. This is nothing but a path. So whenever a path, now see, if I just copy this path and close it again, and if I open my Explorer, right, and if I just go ahead and paste this path here and enter, it directly takes me to that place. So based on a path, whenever you go somewhere or open something or load something, that is what you call as routing. Based on address, you're simply going somewhere. Is that clear, guys? Is the fundamental clear? Is the idea clear? What exactly is the concept of routing? I'm not directly going in the web page logic or Angular logic, because I know that a lot of times we go in there, but we have to understand the basic idea behind routing. So whenever based on a path, you go somewhere, you open something, whenever based on an address. So these things are called with multiple names. You can call this as a URL. Now in web, we call it URL. Here it is simply called as path. In web, we also call it URL. Okay. So path, URL, address, they all mean kind of same. But yeah, when you go deeper, then we can also divide things in there. We can say base URL, then route, then extra parameters, all that things also come. But for now, just think of a path. Okay, so guys, I hope this logic is cleared. I really, really hope this logic is cleared. Now, same thing, see, if I run my project, if I open the terminal, and if I run my project, so let's say npm run start. Okay, if I run my project, okay, again, mistake in the start command. Let me just say start here. Okay, and no, I don't want to send anything, and it's running. And now you can see, guys, here, see, it gives me a path. It tells me your project is running now on a server, and this is the path which will take you to the server. So if I click on this, or if I just copy this and paste it in my browser, okay, if I just go here and if I paste this path in my browser or the URL, because it's on web, so we can call it a URL. See, it takes me to the page. It opens the page. Now, which page to open, when to open, that configuration is written inside the application. But based on a path, you are reaching some place. You're opening a page. That's what we call as routing. So guys, please answer me quickly once. Is the idea clear? What exactly is the meaning of routing? Now, today we're going to be achieving more in Angular based on this routing concept. But I hope the idea is cleared behind what exactly is routing. And it's everywhere in your computer, in your mobile phone, on the browser, in different applications. This concept is there. Everywhere this concept is there. Okay, anyway. So now let's go. And let me quickly remove all this extra codes that we have. And let's just take a normal H1. Again, here it is Django template. I forgot to change my settings. I always tell that I'll change my setting and I always forget it, but that's okay. That's okay. Let's have a simple H1 and just hello, or just mention here routing demo, something like that, anything. And guys, here we go. We have a very simple application, routing demo. There is only one page, one component, and that component is loaded here, which is this. Okay, now then, let's go ahead, guys, and let's create few more components. Okay, let's create few more components. And guys, today, what I'm going to do is, see, yesterday what I did, I directly created my components by using the command ngGC, that is generate component, and I directly write the component name. So for example, if I just go here and I mention ngGC and let's say demo. So my component name is going to be demo. Just to show you something, here we go, I go create a demo. So you can see this demo component directly gets created in my app folder. This demo component directly gets created in my app folder. I don't want it there. What I want is, I'm going to delete this component completely, this new one. I'm going to create one more folder in my app component. So my app component is my main component, and we know that every component gets created there only. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to create one more folder in my app components folder, and let's call it as pages. Again, guys, you can call it whatever you want. I'm just calling it pages because today, whatever components I'm going to create, I'm going to treat them as different pages, or you can just call them components. For now, let's just call them components. It's okay. Let's say components, because here I'm going to keep my custom components. Don't worry. Your pages logic will be cleared in some time, but for now, let's just call them components. Anything you can name, guys, whatever you want. So let's call it components, because I'm going to store my custom components here. And now what I want is all the components that I create from now, they should go inside this folder. So for that, you just have to do ngGC and then simply go ahead and mention the folder name, components. nets, the same name, components. And guys, see, even if you don't create this folder, and if you mention it here, it will automatically create the folder. So if I just mention components slash whatever page you want, so let's say we call it as about component, something like that. So what will happen in this case? It will try to find out, is this folder available anywhere? If yes, then create the about component in that folder. If this folder is not available, components folder, then create the folder and then create the about component. So this is the folder name and this is the component name, and done. And now here we go. See, inside the components folder, you have a new component called as about. And just like that, you can create now n number of components. So you can create one more component, same inside same folder. Again, my terminal is misbehaving a little bit. Okay, and now that's fine. Yep. So ngGC and let's say services. And now you can see in the same folder, I have two components. See, components, about, services. Just like that, I can create one more component. Services, let's call it as product. So guys, now I have three components. So what I did now, guys, I created a separate folder called as components. And inside that, I created three more components. So now what's happening here is, it's not mandatory that you should create like this. But the best part is now I know that one place where all my components live, and it's a better folder structure. So what's the logic here? I have one component called as app, which is my main component. Inside that, this is the main components files, but I have one more folder called as components. And inside that, I have my custom components about product and services. So it's a little better in terms of understanding. The folder structure looks a little nicer. That's all. And this folder, you can name whatever you want, components, pages, blah, blah, whatever you want. But don't worry, you should also follow a good naming convention. So we'll follow that in future. For now, it's fine. And guys, how do we target a particular folder? ngGC folder name slash component name. Is it cleared, guys, everyone? Hopefully. Now then, let's quickly go ahead and let's quickly load all those components. Okay. Let's quickly load all those components in our main component, because we know, guys, normally we won't see output of any of those components. We know that, right? Any component that you create, I hope you remember the mantra that we learned on first day. Any component that you create, it should be directly or indirectly loaded on app component. Then only it will be displayed, right? So now we have three more components. Let's load them. So first of all, let's go and let's see what is the selector name. Because if we want to load, we need the selector name, right? Guys, I hope remember two things we need to do. So let's say I want to load the about component. So first, what is its selector's name? App about. And guys, you can also change it, okay? If you want, you can just change it here. Whatever name you want, A, B, B, B. But again, not a good practice to give a name like this, but you can change it. Just to let you know, you can change it. So app about. Okay. Let's load that tag here. So app about. And now one is this. So I'm loading my about component in my app component. So one is this. Also, we need to go in app components TS file, and there, now we don't need this. We also need to load the about components class about component. Here we go. And now see, guys, about works. The about component comes here. I know it's not looking that good. So let's style it a little bit. So let's go to about component. Instead of about works, let's have a div here. Again, Django template. That's why the HTML is not working. So let me quickly go ahead and let me just put HTML. And now we can have a simple div. Give it a class of about and just a h1, random h1, something like anything about us. Okay. Now let's also give it a styling a little bit. So dot about. Okay. Let's give it a width of 100%, height of font of 500 pixels, and background color, let's say gray, something like that. And guys, see, your about component is here, and that's nice. All good. Perfect. We have one component. Now let's load the second component. Same process. Now we want to load the products component. Same process. What's the name of the product component? App products. Okay, really nice. Two things we need to do. First, so we are loading inside app component. So let's go to apps HTML. Mention the tag here. First thing. Second thing, go in app components TS and mention the product component class. That's it. And now you can see product component is also here. But again, it is not looking good. So let's go in product components HTML. Let's remove this p tag. Let's go ahead. Again, I need to change. I'm going to remove that Django template. I was actually doing Django a little time back. So at that time, I installed all those extensions, but that's okay. So div, let me just give it a class of products. Don't get confused with the word Django, guys. If just to let you know, it's a Python framework for developing full stack applications. That's all. I think I'm thinking of disabling it as of now. Actually, we can just go ahead and do I have anything? Just I just don't want to use my time because I don't know when did I set it. Which one is this? I need to find that out. Okay, for now it's okay. Let's keep it. Today I'll definitely remove it. Today I'll definitely remove it. Okay, so H1 all products, simple. Now let's style it quickly. So we have to go in CSS. Dot products. Let's give it a width of same 100%, height of 400 pixel, and background color of, let's say, light pink or something like that, or light coral. That's also fine for now. And guys, here we go. So now we have two components in our app component. So this is the H1 directly mentioned in the app component. Then this is the about us component. And then this light coral one is the products component. Now we have one more component, right guys? The third component. I explored your channel recently. I want to learn Angular 17 and I will watch your previous trips. I think it will be around 8 to 9 streams by Ram with project. 8 to 9 streams. Mostly 8 to 9, or it might also go till 10 depending on the project and the time we take. So it might also go till 10. Okay, let's go. So products is also done. And now guys, finally the service component. Same thing, we need to load service. So first thing is, take its name. It is app services. Mostly it will always start with app. So first we'll go in app components HTML. And here the tag app services. And also go inside TS of app component. And here load the service components class. So services component done. And now you will see the third one. Here we go. Services work. Let's also give it a very basic styling. Okay. So in services, here we go. First of all, remove this. And guys, if you're new till then, please don't forget to subscribe, guys. We're very close to 4K. Let's try to reach 4K by end of the Angular course. So div class. Let's just give it services. Very simple. And let's apply some CSS. So dot services, width of, let's again same 100%, just basic logic guys. Height of 300 pixel and background color, let's say light blue. And also let's write some text over here. So H1 all services. Okay guys, so now you can see, here we go. We have one index page, we know that. Inside that we have one main app component, and inside that we are loading 3 components, right everyone? So I hope this is cleared guys. I hope this logic is completely cleared, everyone, hopefully, right? So 3 different components, that's all. Now here's the main deal. Normally when you create an application, see guys, what happens? Normally when you create an application, you want to load these 3 components as 3 different pages. But we know that Angular is a single page application framework. That means we are never going to have multiple pages. It's always going to be index.html, only one page. So we are never going to be having multiple pages. But what we do is we create a concept based on which we only load one component at a time. So based on some path, so what we can do is we can figure out a way by which all these 3 components will not load at one time. Based on, if I go in the URL bar and put /about, then about component should load. If I put /products, then product component should load. If I put /services, then services component should load. That means based on the route of the URL or based on the path in the browser URL, in the URL bar, my component should be hidden or it should be shown depending on the routing. See guys, we are never going to create multiple pages because Angular is a single page application. But we are also not going to load all 3 components at once. What we want to achieve a theory in which only one component will load at one time based on the URL, based on the path in the browser URL bar. That's what we want to achieve. And if we achieve that, then we can say that we have achieved routing, because that's the concept, right, guys? Loading something based on a path. As I said, it can be anything. It can be a separate page, it can be a file, it can also be a single component, doesn't matter. Whenever you're opening something or loading something based on a path, that's routing. In this case, we want to load a component. But right now, guys, according to our base logic, we are loading all three at once. This is what we want to avoid, right? So routing allows us to access pages with paths. Exactly. In Angular, in front-end frameworks like Angular or React, it's without reloading because we are not going to a different page. We are simply changing the component. That's why you can say. That's why we don't get that refresh. Because if you go to a different page, then it will be a refresh. Okay, let me show you. Don't worry. In this case, we are not going to move from index page. Index page will be there. Only we'll be changing the component. So what we are going to do is, just to let you guys know the exact complete idea. Discord link broken. Okay, don't worry, I'll check it after the session. So what we are going to do is, let me show you. Reset the canvas. Yes, please clear. So this is our app component, correct? And we have created three components separately: the about component, the product component, and the services component. Initially, what we'll do is, we'll load this component here. Then if someone goes in the browser and puts /services, so let's say someone initially puts, slash about. So about component will be there. If someone puts /services in the browser, what we'll do is we'll remove this component and we'll take this component. If someone goes again and puts /products, we'll again remove the services component which we loaded, and then we'll take this component here. So app component will be there, but we'll just keep changing these components inside that. So right now what we are doing, we are loading all the three components. In my app component, we are loading all the three components at once. That means right now, all of this are directly here. All of this. We don't want this. We only want to load one at one time. And then depending on the URL, we want to change it. Yes, we'll also have navbar. I'll show you how to create navbar. Don't worry. So guys, ready everyone? Ready for the setup? Guys. Now see, in frameworks like React, you need to install some third-party libraries like React Router DOM or something like that. External libraries. The best part in Angular, the routing setup is already done for you. So what you need to do is basic setup. First of all, you don't load any component. Don't load any component. So again, here we go, guys. Basic page. In app component, there is nothing. There is only this h1 that you have written. Is that clear, guys? There is only this h1 that you have written, which will be always there because you're writing it directly in the app component. Now, we don't load any component directly. No. What we do now is, guys, please focus, everyone. We go in our app. First of all, you go in your app component TS. Now, first of all, we need one object called as router outlet in app component. We need one object called as router outlet in app component. So to use it in app components HTML file, to use that router outlet in app components HTML file, you have to go in the TS file and load that router outlet. See, router outlet. Don't forget this, guys. Very important. Okay, router outlet. Let me just put it like this so that it's much more clear. So see, the three components we loaded. Now we don't need it. Actually, now we don't need it. We can now remove it because, guys, we are not loading it directly now. So actually now we don't need these three components here. Now router outlet is the only thing that we need. Okay, so first is you need router outlet. Why do we need router outlet? Okay, let me remove this. And see, guys, router outlet comes from Angular router, which is a default library available for routing in Angular. So we only need router outlet. And now we'll go in our HTML file. Okay, and there, instead of loading our components, we load the router outlet tag. So to use this tag, we need that router outlet. Okay, that's it. Router outlet. That's it. You're done with the basic 80% setup. Now the last thing you need to do is you need to go in the by default available available file called as app routes. So guys, this file is by default available. Go in that file and see, here is the array which is already available to you called as routes. This is the place where you need to mention based on which path you need to open which component. So now what you will do is you will put an object here, and here there are two parameters, path and component. So in the path, mention on which path you want to load the component. So let's say anything. Let's say I mention about. Again, guys, this is up to you, whatever name you want. About. And then component, whatever component you want to load based on this. So let's say based on /about, I want to load about component. So what I'm saying to the routes configuration of Angular is, whenever in the browser someone goes on /about, that means in the browser, see, this is the base URL. This will never change. But after this, if someone mentions /about, please load about component. But where? Where to load about component? Wherever we have mentioned, where is it? Wherever we have mentioned the router outlet. Exactly at this place, wherever we have mentioned router outlet, on the exact same place, load the about component. So this router outlet will be replaced with the about component. That's what happens. Okay, if I mention one more route, let's say for example, comma, one more object, path, let's say products, please load products component. So now what I'm saying here is, when someone goes on /about, load the about component. If someone goes on /products, load the product component. That means now in here, wherever I have mentioned the router outlet, at this place, either about component will be loaded or product component will be loaded. But that will depend on whatever I mentioned in the browser. And see, right now, you can't see with the router outlet. See, right now only this is displayed, the routing demo. There is no output for router outlet, and that's okay because there is no output for this. But now as soon as I go in here and I mention /about, see what happens. About components load at the exact same place where I mentioned router outlet. To make sure that it is coming at this place, below this, let's have one more h1 and hello. And see, it's in between. First routing demo, then router outlet, and then hello. So this router outlet works as a placeholder to load the component or to load the component. See, here we go. About. If I mention /products component at the same place where there is router outlet, at the exact same place you're getting your component. Is that clear, guys? No. You don't. Beauty's help. You don't have to mention / here. Mentioning / here is not important. Obviously, just mention the name because the base path is already there. We know the base path is localhost : 4200. This is your base address. This will always be there. This is your server address. After this address, / any of this path, because that's how URLs are written, right? Base address /path /any path. So all set. So base address is there, and after that /about or /product. No need to mention / here. That's not mandatory. And guys, for the third component, let's also do path, and then let's say services, and then component. Which component do you want to load? Services component. Why it's not coming? Yeah, here we go. And see, and now if I go in the browser, and now if I go for services component. Is that clear, guys? So now your three components are loading based on the route. But guys, there is one problem. If I don't write anything, nothing gets loaded. Because now this router outlet doesn't know which component to load, which component will replace it. Because in the route section, we have written if it is /about, load about component. If it is /product, load product component. If it is /services, then load services component. But right now there is nothing, so nothing is getting loaded. So we can also configure one more thing. If there is nothing, load about component by default. So what we can do is we can have one more path on the top, and please put it on the top only because they follow a sequence. Okay, so path blank. If there is nothing, only the base address, by default load. Now it can be any component, up to you, but in this case I'm considering about. By default, I want to load about. So about should be loaded by default. So now about will be loaded at two places. If it is blank, then also about component. If someone writes slash about, then also about component. And see by default about component now. Is that clear, guys? And see, just like on the top, I have written routing demo and bottom I have written hello. It can be your header and footer, which you want to be common for everything. Right. So whatever you need commonly, you can write directly on top and bottom. And now we don't need all this stuff. And see, here you can put your header, here you can put your footer. And in between, whatever component you want to load, you can load. And designing is up to you. Vertical, horizontal, up to you. Is that clear, guys? Yes, in React we use element. Here we use component. They are the exactly same thing. Drex. Yes. Yes, definitely, guys. If you wish to design index page separately, yes. See, guys, now it's up to you how much do you explore it. This is the basic setup. So, guys, now you have completed the basic routing. Is it okay to make class name and name of selectors same? Yes, you can do that. Yes. That's completely fine because one will be used as tag and one will be used as class names in TS files. But make sure that you don't get confused then. Right, Utpal? If you make class name and the selector name same, then sometimes you may get confused. That's why they have given it separately so that you don't get confused. So guys, are we cleared? By default it is about. Then if I just go ahead and use slash products, I go to products component. Right? Everyone, is the basic routing cleared? Can you please confirm that? Everyone. All set. So that was the basic routing. Now we'll dive deep, but confirm that quickly. All set. I hope it was easy, right? Hopefully it was not that tough, everyone. Hopefully it was not that tough. Okay, so router outlet for the win. Right, the king, the replay, the placeholder where everything gets, dumped. Any component will be loading at this place, wherever you have mentioned the router outlet. The name is the router outlet. Whatever router configuration is giving, it will be out here. Router outlet. Again, I'm just trying to, make some meaning out of that name, but I hope you understand. Okay. So anyway, that's fine. Now then, let's go, guys. Let's talk a little more about it. Now, normally, for us, it's fine. For us, it's fine because we know we can go in the browser and mention slash products. We know we can go in the browser and mention slash about. But a normal layman user, a normal user of your application is not going to go and mention slash product, slash this, slash that, right? Right, guys? So for normal users, these things open based on link, right? Like if there is a person who works in bank, he might not know that you have to go in the URL bar and mention slash products, slash about. So what will normal users do? So they will click on links. So let's see how to create that logic that based on click, these components get loaded. So let's go, everyone, let's go. And now let's say I want to do it here on top and it should be displayed every time. So we can do it directly in the app component. So here, see guys, right now I'm not doing very great designing. And also guys, one more thing, I think someone is playing with the subscriber count. It's continuously going 9392, 9392. Come on guys, keep it fixed. Let's move away, ahead from 93 if possible. And guys, please, if you're new, please don't forget to subscribe, everyone, please. Okay, let's go guys. So here I'm simply going to create a UL just to create some list li. And inside that, let's have a tag because we're creating a link. So a tag, and see again 9392. Someone is playing, but that's fine. You can play completely fine. Okay, so let's have here about one tag. Then let's have products, and let's have services. Okay, and amazing. I put all these in one single li. That's really great. Okay, one li. Second one and third one. Okay, cool. So guys, you can see 3 links are here, but right now they won't work because we have not given any kind of click logic on them. So let's go and let's apply that as well. So now guys, see, in normal HTML, you use something called as href. In normal HTML, you use something called as href. But remember guys, href will reload your page because that's how it's made. It's for pure HTML. Right? It's for pure HTML. it's for loading a new separate page, right? So to give a new link, we use href, where you want to go. But when you're working with Angular, we know that we are technically not going to a different page. We are simply loading a different component. That's why we don't use href. We use something called as router link. So router link, we use this router link, and in here you mention whatever you want. So let's say I want to go to slash about. So whatever you mention in the browser, that's what you need to mention here. So don't use href, guys. In Angular, we have to use what? Router link. That's it. That's the main difference. Router link. Slash products and slash services. Simple, guys. And now, see, okay, there's some mistake. What am I forgetting here? Okay, have I made a mistake in router link? Let me see. Okay, I think it should be a property binding syntax. That's some mistake. Okay, let's see if this works perfectly fine. I think I'm making some silly mistake somewhere. It should. It also works without the property binding syntax. But let's see if it works like this. See, it actually doesn't need to be like. Okay, let me see how does Angular by default provide it. It's using different logic. Why is it not working? Am I forgetting to import something? Let me put this in a. Nope. There is some silly mistake I'm doing, guys. Very, very silly mistake. Very, very silly mistake. Or maybe I have not imported something. There is no error as well. Okay. Router underscore link. Are you sure? I don't think so. It's router underscore link. I'm making a very silly mistake. I'm making a very, very silly mistake. I know. I'm making a very, very silly mistake. I just need to figure out where am I making the mistake. Okay, you're just guessing it. Okay, that's fine. We can check it actually. Just we can just check it. Router link, or maybe we need to import something. But let's see what kind of mistake am I making. Let's see if someone has a good answer for it. I need to check the mistake. That's fine. Working for this guy. Okay, let's try without the slash. Let's see if this works. Nope, still doesn't work. There is some really silly mistake. Because all of these guys are using our same exact logic and it's working for them. Let's see. Router link. It is putting inside the property binding, but I think this also works. But anyway, let's try this then. Or maybe we need to import something. I think I'm forgetting to import something. At the same core answer I'm surfing now. Yeah, I think it's kind of fine. I think we are forgetting to import something. That's all. Maybe just, I'm forgetting to import something. That might be the only issue. Okay, let me see. I think in one of my projects I have done it. Let me just check on my GitHub. Okay, first component, blah, blah, blah. No. Like, why do we need this import? Wait. On my GitHub, I might have some solution because some time back I created one project. It will be there. Let me just quickly check it. For some company I was training, for Bajaj actually. Let me just see, where is that? Yeah. I might have done an example in there. Some Angular sessions. Let me just quickly check. I know I'm making a very silly mistake. I might be forgetting to import something. That's all. No big deal. Completely fine. App So this is the routes. You can see the page, routes page. That's all fine. No big deal in here. Let me see where exactly do I have my link. Router module, right? Router module, right? I think, yeah, that's one mistake. I think, yes, that's the mistake I might be making. Let me see. Am I using router link here? No. Am I using router link here? Okay, yes, yeah, router link is here. And which module you're saying? Router module. Let me see just. Do I need to import? Yes, 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 router module, yes. Silly mistake. That's what I said. We are forgetting to import something very silly. Yes. So we need to go ahead in the TS file and import something called as router module. And from this we get our router link. Yep, see now it's, see, very silly mistake. I told you, right? It's not the issue with the code. We forgot to import something. Okay. So guys, if we want to use router link in your component, in the TS file of that component, you need to import router module. Okay, now see, it will work. Here we go. So about products, services. Is it cleared, guys, everyone? Are we cleared with this? So see, silly mistake, but yep, thank you so much, Ananta, for searching it for us. Thank you so much, buddy. So guys, all clear with the basic setup routing, guys? Please tell me that quickly. Are we all clear with the basic setup of routing? So now we know how to set up routing and also how to open it based on a link. And now see, it's all good. So guys, what happens? When you click on a particular link, your browser path changes. And when your browser path changes, your component loads, because that's the configuration we have done. Based on a browser path, your component will load. So when you click on a link, your browser path changes. And when the browser path changes, according to routing configuration, your component loads. Yes, yes, it's an Angular specific change. And guys, see, Angular 17 is still very new. That might be one case where I'll forget few things here and there. But it's okay. It's okay. The main thing is we should figure out. That's all. Together, we will figure out. That's it. That's why we are learning a new thing. We are bound to make some silly mistakes here and there. Okay, then guys, let's go. Now let's talk about one more thing that is very important in terms of routing. Sometimes you might also want to pass some parameters through your route. You might remember, right? /1, /2, /3. We might also pass something like this. So a lot of times you will be passing route parameters. So let's see how to work with that here. So what if while opening the product component, I want to pass some parameter like product/2, product/3, product/4, something like that. So how to do that, guys? So how to create a route parameter, how to create a path where it can expect a parameter. Very easy. Just go in the route where you want the parameter, slash, colon, the parameter name. So let's say I name it ID for now. That means now your products component, see, will not load based on /products. See, now it won't load based on /products only. It won't load. Now it will load if you pass /products /something, let's say 2. See, now it loads. Is that cleared, guys? So now we have created a path variable, or you can also call it as, a query parameter, path variable or query parameter. That means now if someone wants to load products component, they need to pass products/something, and that something will go in this ID. This is a variable. Remember, guys, this colon is very important. If you don't pass this colon, then this route becomes product/ID. That means now you need to specifically pass /products/ID. Is that cleared, guys? You always have to pass ID because now it's a general string. Now it will be considered as a general string. If you want this ID to be treated as a variable, as a path parameter, path variable, you need to put a colon. Because see, if I don't put a colon, and if I try, instead of ID, if I try 2, see, nothing happens. Because now your parameter should be products/ID. Your path should be exactly like this. But I don't want to pass ID. I want to pass 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which should go as a value of this ID. Because I want this ID to be treated as a variable, right? So colon ID. And now see, I can pass product slash 2, product slash 3, product slash a, whatever I pass, that will go as a variable, the value of the variable ID. Is that cleared, guys, everyone? Yes, once you get this ID, yes, you can do that. So guys, are we cleared with this, everyone? Can you please confirm that? So now we are able to pass this. If I pass 3, see, we are able to load the product component. But now what if I want to use these 3 in my component? I want to use this path variable or query parameter in my component here, in my product component. I want to use these 3. So what I want is, whatever data I'm passing for this ID variable, okay, how can I, so guys, which component we are loading? So if you go on slash products slash some value for the ID variable, you load product component. So how can I read the value of this ID variable in my product component? How to read that? How? What if I want to use that value? Because if someone is passing, that means we need to use it, right? So how can I use it? ID must be number only. No, 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 tech babies. It's up to you. See, right now I named the variable ID because most of the cases you will be using ID, but it can be anything. ID, name, tech, ABCD, whatever you want to name. Colon, anything is a variable. It can be AFK, whatever you want. The reason I named it ID is most of the times you will be passing ID. Okay. So how to read it, guys? So we are loading product component based on this path. That's why, guys, this variable will be only available in the product component. So let's go to the product component, open its TS file. And guys, let me show you how to read that variable here. So first off, you need a constructor. Guys, now I hope you remember your TypeScript lectures, everyone. I really hope that you guys remember your TypeScript lecture. In the constructor, you need to inject what, okay, see, let me, okay, beauty's help. Wait for some time. I'll show you what exactly is the need of that. Don't worry. I'll show you what exactly is the need of that. Wait, okay. So first of all, let me show you how to read it. So guys, to read it, create a constructor in that TS file, in the class file of the product component, of the component which we are loading. And inside that, you need to inject something called as activated route. You need to inject the object of activated route class, which is internally there. Don't worry. Just mention private. The variable name will be whatever you want, but let's name it as activated route only. Don't name it anything else. And then the type of this variable is activated route. And see, guys, don't worry about where this object will be initialized. It will be injected by Angular. Angular by default takes care of it. So just mention in the constructor private activated route. Again, guys, it's just a variable. You can name it AR, up to you. But just for a good name, I named it activated route. And the type of this variable is also activated route. That's it. That's all. And now you can read it anywhere. So let's read it inside the constructor only for now. So let's go. For now, let's just log it. So console.log, as soon as the product component loads, this constructor will be called and we are logging. So guys, this activated route is the object which keeps track of the URL var or the route or the path. So this has the ability to give you all the details related to the route. So in this case, if I just print that, this dot activated route, see what it prints. I'm printing the activated route object, see what it gets you. Refresh, open the console. See, right now product component is loaded. That means this constructor would have been called. Simple, guys. Right now, which component is loaded here? Product component. That means this class is loaded. That means this constructor is called. That means the activated route is injected and we are printing it. So let's see what this activated route object gives you right now. Okay, right now it's not logging anything. Why is that? Why is that? Strange, a little bit of strange. Maybe I need to use ng on it here. Okay, let me just try ng on it. One more function which gets called whenever the component loads. So ng on init. Don't worry, guys, about this method. I'll tell you about this method in some time. But for now, let me just use it. Let me just use it. Here, let me try it. Console.log this.activated route. Why it's not getting printed? Hmm. Dot snapshot dot. Let me read the param directly. Params ID. That is strange. What mistake am I making? Again, very strange. Let me see. Do I need the router module for this as well? I'm in the correct component, right? Products component. Something really strange. Why is this happening? Okay. Let me go in the link. Let me just try product/4 from here. Is it not imported? Have I not imported activated out? What are you saying? Ah, it's loaded. It's loaded. See? Here we go. It's there. It's there. It's there. It's there, Deepak. What is the mistake? What can be the mistake? It should at least get printed. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry about ng on in it. Right now, I'm not telling it for you because I have a separate lecture on ng on in it. I have a separate lecture for this life cycle method. So don't worry. Right now, just for printing purpose, I tried to see it, but I think I'm making some very silly mistake. Why nothing is getting printed here? It should give us the current route's details, the activated route. That means current route. Simple logic, guys. So activated route means the current route. But I just want the details of the current route, but we are not getting it. Why is that? Am I forgetting something or what is happening? Very, very strange. Okay, let me rerun my project just to confirm that there is no silly mistake or there's no caching issue or something like that. Okay. Let me just see if this is also the problem. Okay, in the imports. Yes, my bad. Wow. Uh, yes. I forgot. We need to also mention it here. See, that's the problem with this new version because if you're familiar with the old version, okay. So, yeah, guys. Yes. No, on it is there. It's okay. Now it's working. Now it's okay. Amazing. Amazing. Now we can also do it in the constructor, guys. Okay, now guys, we can now also do it in the constructors. First of all, let me show you activated route. So guys, again, very important. You need to also mention so not only import, you need to also mention it in the import section. And let's go to products slash product slash 4. I think there's some error. What is that? I think we can't do it inside the constructor. Yes. So we need that ng on it here. Yep. Now what is it? Do we also need the router module with it? No. What happened? Till now it was working, right? It worked a little back. Mhm. I modified the route. No, I only modified the URL, right? No, we didn't do import ng on it. It works anyway. It's fine. Till right now it worked, right? It worked a little while back. What's happening now? I know. We modified the route. I know that, but that's fine, right? It's just adding the variable. That's all. See, our route is still having ID here. Cool. And from here in the navigation, we are passing this. No. Implement is not important, Midhun. I don't think so. Implements is that important. It's not. It's not mandatory. And see here we are passing product/4. So what is the issue? Okay. So we don't have to mention it here. That's it. Do we need the router module? So what extra did we do, guys? We were doing it before also, right? Don't worry, that on init is not important right now, guys. Don't worry. There is a separate lecture for that. That is something I use only for testing. But see, we didn't do anything. It's all same. So now we didn't import anything. See? And it's working now. So what was the issue before then? It's all working. So what was the issue? Now let me try it in the constructor then. Let me now finally try it in the, but I think it will not work in the constructor, but let's see. Ah, it's working in the constructor as well. So guys, what was the issue then? Guys, see, there was no issue at all. Guys, there was no issue. Everything is working perfectly fine. Okay, cool, everyone. There was no issue. See, there was no issue. We wrote it correctly. I think there was some sequence which was hampering it. See, because everything is same. No imports, nothing. This is what we did initially. Strange. Okay. Maybe there is some issue. Okay, fine. Anyway, guys, is it cleared? And I think the camera is stuck. Let me just quickly, this OBS problem, let me just solve it quickly. So guys, everyone, I hope you can see there is no issue. And now this is what I wanted to show you, that this activated route, come on, man. This activated route gives you all the information about the route. You can see that, right? See, everyone, it gives you all the information about the current route. And you can see, and in this we are interested in this dots, there is something here, see, snapshot, and inside snapshot you have params, and in that params you have your, this 4 is the value, and the id is name of the parameter. From where the id is coming, guys? Because you have mentioned it here in the routing. You have mentioned that whenever someone goes on products slash anything, and that anything will become the value of this id parameter, this id variable. So guys, this is the name of the variable. Okay, this id is the name of the variable. So this variable will have this value. So this 4 is right now becoming the value of this ID. And in the product, it's loading product component. That's why in the product component, we can go and we can use this activated route. Now you can use it anywhere, but see, right now guys, in which component do we want to see that parameter? In product component. So I inject the activated route and then I try to read it. But I am not interested in this whole thing. No, I'm interested in only this 4. This is what I want. So activated route, inside that you have a snapshot property, inside that you have a params property, and inside that you have a ID property. That's what I want. And see, you got your 4. Now if I put 5 here, I get my 5. If I put 6 here or 7, I get my 7. And now I can use this ID to do whatever I want inside this, to load data from database, to give a call to someone, anything. That data can be anything, right? Right now it's an ID, but it can be anything unique, anything you want. So basically, this is just a way of passing data to a component from URL. That's all. And you can use it in multiple ways. Is it clear, guys? So see, there was no mistake. I think there was some sequence issue that we did because we didn't have to import anything. There was no issues at all. Literally, there was no issues. We just had to rerun the project once. That's all, guys. We just had to rerun the project once. But anyway, guys, this is good, right? Finding issues here and solving, it's always the best thing. You will at least know what is the problem that can come. And again, I think the camera, why OBS, why are you doing this with me? This works perfectly fine throughout the whole day. And then suddenly it all just hampers. So guys, everyone, please tell me, are we cleared with this passing parameters? Now in the product component, you have the access to the parameter value and you can use it for literally anything, whatever you want. Guys, please tell me. Yes, from database, from whatever you want. And don't worry, we'll be using it in future as well. Sir, I feel you're teaching as more like working ones that are normal teaching ones. Everything you will do in front of us, getting errors, solving in front of us, which is thank you so much, Subhashini. Thank you so much for understanding that. Yes, and even I try my best so that everything should be done in front of you only. Problems, errors, solutions, everything. Sir, if after slash instead of 4 we have some name, yeah, that will also become ID. Yes, any value, Komalpreet, any value. So if I pass Komal here, see that Komal becomes a new value. So now it will be up to you. It will be up to you. What do you want to make as a value? It can be a number. It can be anything. And inside the product component now, you have the access to this Komal. Right now I'm logging it on the console. But if you want, you can use it here. Let me show you. Let me show you how to use it there. So let's say you have a variable. Okay, let's say we call it as anything. Param, which is initially a blank string. Okay, and let's display it here on product component. Yeah, you can pass the image URL, Naveen. Yes, definitely. So guys, in this H1, I'm trying to display that param. And you can see, guys, initially it's blank. That's why nothing is displayed. You can see that, right? Initially param is blank. Initially your param is blank. Now what I'm doing is, as soon as the constructor works, in param, this dot param should be equal to this whole value. And now see, Komal. You can use it here, right? If I pass, let's say, Naveen. Here we go, Naveen. I know, spelling mistake, but that's okay. Naveen, here we go. Naveen, Saurabh, whatever you want to pass. And you can use it for any purpose now. You can perform a search based on this. You can do anything, whatever you want. You have the data. So see, guys, in this case, I'm just showing you how to pass data from parameter, from URL to your component. Inside the component, how you want to use it, it can be completely your own case. Yes, tech babies, you can do that. So once you get that HP, then you, based on that HP, you can do an API call and get your data, right? Okay, again the camera issue. What's going on with OBS? I don't know. I just reinstalled the whole OBS. Still, it's the same issue. Guys, please suggest me some other platform if it is there. If there is some other platform where I can stream as well. Yes, Komal, we can change it. I know, the cam is creating an issue now today. So guys, are we cleared with this, everyone? Can you please confirm that? Are we cleared with passing data? Guys, so right now I'm hard coding it here, but just think of it like this, guys. In the URL, I'm hard coding this 4. This 4 can be anything, right? This 4 can also be a data. Correct, everyone? This 4 can be a dynamic data. But again, don't worry, because in next session, I will use all this. I will use whatever we have learned so far. Now, the next session is all about building UIs using whatever we have learned. Let's develop our own streaming application. Yeah, we can do that, but that will be tough. And we also need a very big server for that to, handle the whole request logic and everything. I'm using OBS. So guys, is the whole routing logic cleared? Tell me that. Because we're almost done for the day. The whole aim for today's day was to complete the whole routing. And I hope routing is now perfectly cleared and you will never forget the routing logic. Hopefully, guys. So we created multiple components. Okay. And then we use something called as router outlet. Okay. We do the routing configuration in this app routes. And guys, in Angular, you should do it here only in app routes. Here we do the routing configuration, that is on which path, which component should load, and where that component will be loaded, that is decided by the router outlet. At this place, your components will load. We are just recapping it. And to use this router outlet, in the components TS file, you need to import router outlet as well. Right? And if you want to perform linking, if you want to create clickable links, then in that case, you need to use router link. And to use router link, you also need to import router module. And we also saw how to pass parameters. Routing was a piece of cake. More and more Angular is growing. Yes, that's great, Naveen. That's great. I'm really happy that you're liking Angular. Guys, I hope now you're liking Angular. Everyone, hopefully. Yes, we can develop a big application. Yes, definitely. But we also need a big API for that. So yeah, definitely we'll develop a big application. It will take around 3 to 4 days to develop. Definitely we'll develop a big application. Don't worry. Nested route, yes. In the next session, we'll also do nested route. Definitely. That's easy. Ananta, it's very easy. Very, very easy. Don't worry. Guys, so in the next session, that will be on Monday. So tomorrow, you can take a holiday. And please, guys, sit and practice everything that we have learned so far. Because Monday's session is going to be big. On that day, I'll teach you nested routing. I'll teach you how to loop through in the UI. I'll teach you how to write conditional logic in the UI, right? So there are multiple things coming up on Monday. So guys, if you're new, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And also guys, like the video, come on. Like everyone. All the people watching, please like it. And guys, please use this Sunday to practice. At least it's for 1 hour and practice everything that we have learned so far so that you become confident. Because once you become confident, it's all a piece of cake. Monday's session is very important. It's going to be all about UI, nested routing. So today we learned the fundamental routing. On Monday, it will be nested routing and then looping and then conditional based UI. And once we are done with that, then we'll move on to something called as API calling, one of the most important topics. Okay. And also guys, please share the channel, share the video with your friends and colleagues. Okay. Let's try to reach 4K. How to do encryption? You mentioned that in API. Yes, we can do encryption, but normally we do it at the backend, tech babies. Normally we do encryption at the backend, but yeah, it's also possible to do it in the front end. Yes, definitely. So if it is needed, we can do encryption of tokens, encryption of passwords from front end as well. Definitely, tech babies, we can do that. So once we reach at that level, when we want to use passwords and everything, we can do it. Just 9 more? No, not 9. It's 99. 99 more for 4K. Hopefully, let's see by Monday or Tuesday or Thursday or Saturday, let's say till next week. That's great, Komalpreet. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. And I'll see all of you on Monday. And again, guys, very important session. Please use your Sunday for practicing everything. And guys, much more things are coming up. DevOps, Kubernetes, Docker. Flutter, everything is coming up in the next month. So be ready for that as well, guys. A lot of new things. I'll make sure that you all become full stack developers. I'll make sure that. Okay, so that's all, guys. Enjoy your Sunday. Happy weekend. Thank you so much. I'll see all of you on Monday. When we will be creating a project, will we also create a backend? No, in this case, we won't be creating a backend. No. So I'll be directly using a backend, which I'll create. Okay. After the Angular session, can you stream about .NET? Yeah, that's also possible, Bayram. We can do .NET as well. Why not? Sir, please start C and C++. Okay, we'll do it someday. Maybe we'll have morning sessions for C and C++. Okay, so yep, guys. That's all, everyone. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye. Good night, everyone. See you all on Monday. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Good night. Good night. And guys, also, if you want this project, if you want all of this, whatever I'm coding, I'll create a GitHub link and I'll share it on Discord. So you guys can get the GitHub link on the Discord. If you don't find the Discord, the GitHub link of this whole code which I'm doing will be also available in the description of the video. So check after 1 hour, 2 hour, you'll find the GitHub link of the whole code in the description of the video, and I'll also put it on Discord. Okay, so the Discord channel link is on the channel description. Please go ahead and join the Discord server as well. It's in the channel description, buddy. It's in the channel description, Deepak. It's there. So I think, wait, let me just give you that Discord. Invite invalid. Okay. Why it is breaking this Discord link again and again? Okay, let me just give a new link to all of you. I always forget from where to get the invite link. Where is create invite? Create invite. Okay, invite people. Copy. Okay. Here we go, guys. Here is the Discord link. Okay, guys, I have given the link here in the chat. Please go ahead and use it. Okay, it expires after 7 days. Set it as never expire. Okay, okay, I'll set it now, Deepak. Okay, thank you so much for letting me know that. Logic behind web application suggesting you a strong password and saving it. Logic. That's we can do. That's something we can do. That logic is also very simple. Tech babies, that's also something simple. So we'll also try to do that. Don't worry. So yep, guys, that's all, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. Good night, everyone. Good night. See you on Monday. Bye-bye, guys.